best thing about starting a new year is reflecting on how much progress you have made in life. After the holidays, you might just want to take things easy and lay low for a while. But the truth is, you gotta get out there and start planting your seeds because no one else will. Making room for new energy to flow into your life helps kick things into gear. This is how you can plant your seeds for 2025. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a good feeling about 2025 and I hope you feel the same, but if you don't, I'm hoping that this video will help you to feel inspired to accomplish every single goal that you set for yourself this year. Let's jump right into this. I want to start this video off by showing you my 2025 vision board. Now, if you don't know what a vision board is, it's basically a way to gather all of your ideas. And it can be used for a multitude of reasons. Some people use it to pick out outfits. Some people use it to plan weddings or events that they're throwing. So for this particular video, I'm going to show you how I use a vision board to manifest my goals. I've been creating vision boards for around 5 years now, and I've always been a very visual person. Back in the day, I also really liked to take catalogs and circle the things that I wanted. It was a great way for me to see, what am I working towards? What would I like to have one day? What excites me? And I think now that I'm grown up, this is my mature version of that. The process of creating a vision board can be very therapeutic, and I would love to help any of you out there that would like to improve your life. So let me show you my vision board. And I'll also go over the 3 steps of creating a vision board that I have. So let me first show you my vision board right here. You can create your vision board however you'd like. You can even draw your own pictures if you want to. But for me, I have some goals right here, such as publishing my first ever book. I want to create a self-help book for young people out there or people of all ages who are struggling and looking for direction, trying to find forgiveness for things they were never apologized to for. And so here's just like a picture. Here's just an idea of something you can do. So I found a picture of an author holding his book at a book signing, and I downloaded the picture and then cropped a picture of my face and then covered his book with just a made-up cover of mine that says live and learn, just to sort of visualize the future and what can be and what will be. Here is some outfit ideas that I found that I really like, and I want to step up my fashion this year. I want to sort of dress in a more clean-cut way. Ever since I moved to this home that I'm living in now, I've really kind of relaxed on how I look and my outward appearance, because I don't know, I don't want to stick out too much, but I don't want to get stuck in that. So I want to get back to investing in my appearance. And then right here, you guys are like, what is that? That's just a picture of Chris Evans. He's like my dream guy, and also my body goals. Like I'm trying to get my body to look like that, even though I'll never have chest hair. And then right here is a picture of 2 guys that could be boyfriends possibly, and it looks like they're drinking some morning joe, watching the sunrise. And this is something I can see for myself having a boyfriend that likes to do outdoorsy stuff, which, if you guys know, it's kind of hard to find that in the gay community for some reason. I don't know why. But not a lot of gay men, in my experience, like to do camping and sports and athletic things, hiking. Here's a picture of a Jeep that looks just like mine with one of those rooftop campers on it. And this is just a picture that reminds me of what I would love to do here in Arizona. Even if I don't have that special someone, I would love to have a setup like this and bring Lucky and film YouTube videos and ground myself and disconnect. Okay, and then right here is a final goal, which, as you can see, has a man who's advertising Shopify and then a picture of a very nice looking website homepage. And this is my vision board. So I'm gonna set this right here so maybe you guys can reference it as I'm talking. But the first step in creating a vision board is creating a list of goals, attainable goals. And don't limit yourself. Use an entire piece of paper, as many pieces of paper as you'd like, and jot down goals, bucket list items, but make sure that they're attainable and not so fantastical that you need $1 million to do it. I suggest writing down goals that you know you can achieve. Once you write that list of goals down, narrow it down to 3 main goals. And that will just make it much easier to interpret when it comes to your vision board, because you don't want too many different pictures of things all around the board, or else it's just like, oh, what's that? You just get like stimulus overload. So narrow it down to 3 attainable goals. And then what you're going to do next, which is the fun part, is sourcing your pictures or symbols. So you can either use magazines or catalogs that you have laying around and cutting out pictures of things that remind you of that particular goal. Or you can do what I do, which is go online and find pictures on Pinterest and just anywhere online. I find it to be easier to source the pictures online because you really can find that perfect picture of what you're thinking of on your mind. Or you can even draw your own pictures, which I've never done that, but it might be something worth trying. Okay, so the third step of creating your vision board is arranging and gluing your pictures on your board in a methodical way so it makes it easier to plan out your course of action. You want your vision board to be a resource. You don't want it to just be some pretty picture on the wall that looks nice but doesn't give you any actual value. Do your best to lay the goals out in a methodical way, whether it is the easiest goal first, the hardest goal first. Lay the pictures out in a methodical way that helps you plan accordingly. I think it's very important to see the goals that you're working towards rather than keeping them trapped inside of your mind. And it can be scary opening up about the things that you're most passionate about, but it also helps you to get that energy out there and sort of tell the world that you're ready for it. So take my advice. If you have been struggling with achieving your goals and getting things done, really put those thoughts out there because it helps you to hold yourself accountable at the same time. Because if nobody knows what you're working towards, who's going to hold you accountable other than yourself? And if you're not holding yourself accountable, then what? This method of creating a vision board and accomplishing my goals has been working for me successfully since I started taking my life seriously and planting my seeds. So try it out, you guys, and let me know if you're going to decide to do it because I would love to see that. Okay, let's move on. I have a quick question for you guys. When do you think it's appropriate to take down your Christmas decorations? Christmas tree included. Because last year I took my tree down and my decorations down the literal day after Christmas because, I didn't really have a reason for it other than I just kind of was tired of looking at it. But after some research and sort of a tough 2024, I learned that it can be bad luck to put your decorations away before the 5th or the 6th. So do you think January 5th is too early, too late, or just right to take down your Christmas decorations? Let me know. Okay, now I have another funny story that I would like to share with you, and I wrote about this on my Patreon. And before I jump into it, I have to give a huge shout out to all of my wonderful Patreon members. Check out my Patreon. It's a great way to become closer supporters of mine as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting me over there. I hope you're enjoying all of my content. I had to go to Home Depot this weekend because I needed some salt for my water softener. As I was walking out with the salt to pay for it in the outdoor gardening area, I saw this beautiful indoor plant, and it was a Schefflera plant. And I'll attach a picture right here of what they look like, but it's a very unique and hardy, kind of luscious, leafy indoor plant. And I used to have one about 2 years ago when I moved to that apartment that I was living in, and I found it at the dumpster of all places, and I just took it in, and it grew so much when I had it, and I ended up having to leave it at the dumpster when I moved because it wouldn't fit in my car. It had gotten so big, and I just left it in the same place that I found it, hoping that someone else would come and sort of pick up where I left off. But I saw that plant at Home Depot, and it stuck out to me because they're kind of rare. Like, you don't see them very often. But this one was around almost 3 times the size of the one that I had. It was tall, wide, looked very healthy. I was observing it for a little bit with my cart full of the rock salt, and something in my head told me, just get it, just get it. And immediately when I heard that, I started justifying to myself why I shouldn't. I decided to set the plant down and just pay for the items that I came there for, which was the salt. So the entire way home, I have this plant on my mind, and I'm just thinking to myself, I wish I would have gotten that. I wish I would have just bought it, because who knows how long I would have had it for. They're very easy to take care of, and I've always regretted leaving that plant at the dumpster. I felt like a spiritual attachment to it because I had cared for it so much and watched it grow. So the next day, I'm doing some yard work and taking my Christmas decorations down, and I realized that I had a tree in my front yard that was becoming very overgrown and starting to stretch into the neighbor's yard. And I wanted to take care of it before I got a notice from the HOA. So I decided to go back to Home Depot, and part of what got me there was I told myself, if that plant's there, I'm gonna buy it, and if it's there, it's meant to be. So I get there, and I'm walking inside from the outdoor gardening area, and right as I walk inside and the sliding doors open, an elderly couple walks out with the same exact Schefflera plant in their cart, cascading leaves, just beautiful. And we make eye contact. I couldn't help but stare, but also smile, because I was kind of expecting it not to be there. I wasn't expecting it to be carried away from me right in front of me. I don't really believe in coincidence. So in that moment, I chuckled to myself, and I knew that it was a lesson the universe was trying to teach me. And what I think that lesson is the importance of taking chances, because they won't always be there. And that can be used in so many different areas of your life. But when it comes down to purchasing a house plant that made my heart happy, like it made me almost feel like butterflies when I saw it, and I still like robbed myself of that joy. I learned from that moment that I'm not going to withhold joy from myself, no matter what the cost is. I also think it's important to trust your inner voice, because it can save you from regret in the future. And in that moment, I did not listen to my inner voice. And if you guys watch a lot of my videos, you know that I always mention, whenever I don't listen to my intuition or that inner voice, something bad happens or something goes wrong. So if you have that inner voice and that intuition, start listening to it and accepting it more, because it really will protect you from disappointment and also help you to attain happiness and joy in a more effortless way. I hope this video, if anything, inspires you to start planting your seeds so you can watch them grow. You can watch your plants grow in 2025. Just like a seed, our goals need to be nurtured and watered and cared for on a consistent basis. And if you're not doing the same thing to these goals that you're setting for yourself, they're going to just disappear and die off, just like a seed would. And just like a seed, our goals need to be nurtured and cared for before they can sprout from the ground. From that point forward, once your plant or your goal has sprouted, it's all about monitoring the plant and keeping away what is hindering it from its continued growth. Imagine a seedling that is struggling to germinate and pop out of the soil because it's in too cold of an environment. So simply setting that seed in a different but warmer environment will work wonders for the success of the seed. Think of your goal as the same thing. So if something that you're doing is making achieving your goal harder, you need to identify what that hindrance is and get rid of it, because that will be the reason you don't accomplish your goal. Some seeds or ideas need more care and more nurturing before they can sprout. So not everything can be done in the exact same way is what I'm getting at. And it's important to know that whatever you give into something, the law of energy, the law of attraction, you'll get just that back. So even when you don't think you're getting anywhere, as long as you're being persistent and still showing up and still putting in the time and effort, when you least expect it, in the darkest of times, that stubborn seed will sprout from the ground, and that then symbolizes growth through persistence. So even when it doesn't seem like it, you're making progress as long as you're putting in the effort. And I hope, if anything, this video inspires you to put in the effort, because as adults, most of the time we don't have anybody that's checking in on us or making sure that we're putting in the effort. So do what you can with what you have. You'd be surprised how far you can get with the resources that are surrounding you already. Thank you guys so much for watching this. And before I wrap this up, I want to announce to you my Red Velvet candle collection launch date. It will be January 24th at midnight. And this will be my first candle collection since Halloween. My first ever Valentine's Day collection. And it's going to be centered around romance and, touch and feel and smell and caressing and hugging and loving and all that. I'm finally dropping my first ever car air fresheners. I've talked about car air fresheners in the past, but I found a great component that's going to work for me, and I'm just so excited to get these out, because who doesn't love car air fresheners? So more info about that in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope your 2025 is starting off strong, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.